Hello world, this is Matt Waner from Waner Paranormal Explorers and Waner Paranormal Preservation Society, and we are here outside of the lovely Hartsuff Hall in Rockland, Massachusetts. We have Jay and JV inside ready for 3 nights of hopefully what they'll find out to be exciting investigations. I'm going to walk you through this building, give you a little bit of history, and also some of the paranormal history and experiences that I personally have had here and guests have had as well. Come on in with me. As you enter the front door here, you see one of my favorite features in this building. Right there is our mascot, that's Ghost Malone. He's not a real ghost. This would have been the ticket window for when they had events here back in the day, and it's just one of those really cool details that you don't notice when you walk right in, but one of my favorites. So we're gonna go in here. This would have been the meeting hall. We're not gonna bother these guys while they set up. This is where they would have held all the meetings for the Civil War veterans and soldiers and their families, and this is where we have a lot of our meetings as well with the association. You're probably thinking, why is he taking us into the men's room? And I'm going to tell you why I'm taking you into the men's room, because that is how we get to the basement. And we have, as you see here, some jingle bells on the door, because we have experiences with the door opening and closing itself while men are using the bathroom. And I can tell you from experience, the last thing I want to be done is scared when I'm going to the bathroom. The basement's scary enough as it is, and the only light that we have is that switch that I just pulled up there. That being said, I do have a flashlight on my cell phone because it is 2024, and I'm going to put that on right now and show you guys around. This is just one of the spare rooms we have down here, and I'll turn the light on for us so we can actually see. I'm going to try to. There it is. So the cool thing about this room, not the trash, we have an original tombstone of a local soldier, and we're not 100% sure why it's here. My day job is actually installing tombstones, and likelihood of that being here is because it was replaced, and out of respect, it was brought here to stay because it was a soldier's. So we think that's pretty cool. Obviously, somebody liked to drink. So now I'm going to take you across to what the coolest spot in the basement is, and it's an unknown little spot. We're not going to trip over this camera because they're going to want to see that later. This guy scares the crap out of everybody, myself included, this old parade float. So as you make your way through the basement here, around the corner, what you're going to come to here, and I'm going to turn the light on so that we can actually see it and not rely on this little flashlight. We have here, I'll show you from this side because it's easier to see it. We have a 9-lane shooting range that was put in 1935 by the Rockland Rifle Club. And as you can see here, there are still 22 caliber bullet shells all over the ground. I'll walk you down here. Yeah, we do have some seats down here. People love to do SD sessions down here and solo experimentations and what have you. And I can tell you from experience, it's very dark down here without the lights on. But as you can see, we have the range. I ran these nice lights because we can actually see down here when we're setting up, and it's not as scary. I personally haven't had any experiences down here, but a lot of people have had experiences with that doorway over there. When they're in here, they feel like they're being watched, and more than one person has seen a shadow of something move through that doorway. I don't spend a lot of time down here because I'm not much of a basement person, to be quite honest with you. I love attics. Now, when my daughter comes investigating, she's the basement person, so we let her have the basement. All right, now let's move on, and I will show you some more stuff and some more experiences that I have had in this lovely building. The building itself was built in 1899, and it was raised, the funds, I should say, were raised by the Women's Relief Corps, which was a branch of the military, obviously all women, and they went door to door in the town to raise funds to build this building for $10,000. You can't even get a good used car for $10,000 anymore. I don't want to scare these guys. They jump easily. All right, so as we come through here, I'm going to take you up to the kitchen. Not because I'm hungry, but because there was an experience out there that I would like to show you guys.
Hello, everybody.
Command Central is looking wonderful.
Chaotic right now.
Organized chaos is the best kind. So here's the kitchen, very nondescript kitchen. The experience that happened in here, that is our back door, that is our handicapped accessible door. There was a Civil War swap meet happening here a couple years back. One of the members who was displaying some items, he was bringing his items through this door. As he came through this door, standing next to the stove over here, he saw a soldier in full Civil War gear. He said hello to him. As soon as he said hello to him, whew, that soldier went right through the floor into the basement where we just were. He kind of shook his head in disbelief, didn't tell many people about it because most people don't want to believe that stuff. And when we started doing our investigations here, that is when people started telling me they've had experiences here, which is wonderful for me because that's why I'm here. Over here we have the back staircase, which is going to lead us up to the grand ballroom. I'm going to take you up here, and I'm going to tell you why. One, because I love the sound of the door. It's very creepy. This staircase itself, I've had some experiences on. And not in terms of witnessing anything per se, but when I've been up here in this grand ballroom, I have had someone behind me peek out the door. I'm going to walk across the ballroom now and hopefully not trip. We'll turn the lights on for you guys over here so you can see it. This is one of the best rooms in the whole building. It is fantastic. The lights will really show you what's going on here. So this is the grand ballroom. You can see why they call it the grand ballroom. Original shuffleboard, we still have the sticks and pucks, and we do play once in a while to kind of conjure up some activity. All of these photos in here are of local soldiers that fought in the Civil War. These beautiful stained glass windows that you see in this room are what was used as a fundraiser to build this building. They are all original. They have been here since the start of the building. Another interesting fact, we have a lot of safes. Our historian, Pam, found the combinations to these safes in an old book in the office, and we had a hell of a time cracking these safes. We got most of them open. Unfortunately, nothing great was in them, but we did do our diligence and get them open. But what I've had happen to me up here, over there where that door is open, I've seen something poke out of it more than once, more than one occasion. Over here, that is the entry to the ballroom. And what happens over here is we have a little boy spirit. We believe his name is Benjamin. He's about 10 years old, and he hangs out in this room right here. For whatever reason, he will not come into the ballroom, even though we tell him he's allowed to. We are under the impression that perhaps when he was a child, he wasn't allowed in, and perhaps his family was in there and they didn't let him in there. We're really unsure. One of the theories myself and my team has as to why there are children's spirits here, we've encountered a couple different ones. In 1866, long before this building's existence, the parking lot right next door happened to be the school for the town, the entire town's one school. And that building existed until the early 1920s. This building being built in 1899 very well could have been where their playground was at one point. 1896, they built a new school, so that one stopped being used as much. We believe that that could be why the children's spirits were on the property, maybe not tied to the building, but tied to the property itself. That's our theory, and we're sticking with it. We would love to have you come out and investigate and come up with your own theories as well, or back ours. I'm going to shut the lights off because as a dad, conserve the electricity. But with Benjamin, the 10-year-old boy, anytime we're set up in here, we put a lot of motion detective devices here. He tends to generally stay in this area, and he will poke out behind that door. And I've caught him on camera in that door jamb right there. He's a little bit taller than that doorknob. I was sitting on a live session and someone watching my live session said, "What is that?" And I looked and I said, "I don't know." I got up, I walked over, and there was nothing there. But he was on camera, and we have that picture on camera, and we ran it through different filter systems, and it never changed. He was here. One of the greatest pieces of evidence that I've ever caught. One of those ones you just can't question. You know, you don't have the answer, that makes it paranormal. We tried and tried to debunk it. This area always holds a special spot for me because of that experience. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take you up to the attic, which is my favorite spot. As I told you, I love attics. So we have another grand stained glass window here. And these portraits up here that you see are all the soldiers locally that never returned, unfortunately, from the Civil War. This is a memorial to those guys. Always keeping their memory alive for what they sacrificed for us. So, you're going to get to see the coolest room in this entire building. It feels like something out of a horror movie, which, if you're like me, you probably are, you love horror because you're into the paranormal. When I started doing events here, this attic needed a lot of work. It had about 2 inches of pigeon feathers and pigeon refuse everywhere, because before they fixed the roof, the pigeons decided they wanted to live in here. Now, I spent hours and hours cleaning this place up, and I was here by myself doing it, and I didn't like that. I still don't necessarily love being in the building by myself. Matter of fact, I don't like it, but I do it because it's necessary. And one of the days I was up here, I had my speaker sitting on this table, playing some music, and I heard a thud. My speaker is all the way over there. Apparently the spirits don't like Wu-Tang Clan. That's okay, it wasn't their time. I still do. That same 2 days where I was here working, I was bringing bags of trash out. I went out the front door. As soon as the front door closed, I heard a thud, a crash. Shook my head, came back in, I opened the door. The big American flag had fallen right across that front door, so I couldn't get back in. I opened the door and I said, "Listen, I'm trying to make this place cleaned up and better so that we can get people in here so you guys have a place to stay forever." I started setting those ground rules so that the spirits knew, hey, listen, this guy's got good intentions. Let's work together, okay? And I think it's been working because I've been here for a couple of years now. They know I get scared very easily. They like to mess with me, and that's okay. Even though I'm not okay with it, I'm okay with it. So up here we have a lot of different, as you see, there's a room there and a room there and a room over there. These are all just different storage rooms over the course of its time, where different organizations would store things up here. You know, they have a friend like, "Oh, I know where you could put some stuff." So in here, interestingly enough, it's locked today. This wasn't locked last time, is where all the Oddfellows items are. And that room has a lot of energy to it. It's got a different feeling to it. I don't know if it's because it's Oddfellows or if it's just a coincidence, but that stuff is in there. As you can see over here, we've got a lot of seats set up because this is where we hang out when we come up here. Oh, what is that, you say? Yes, that is in fact a coffin. And inside that coffin is our skeleton. I'm going to try to show it to you. I can usually do this. There he is. Hi, buddy. So that is an Oddfellows, official Oddfellows skeleton. It's from the 70s at some point in time. We love him. We keep him up here. He's our friend. Sets the tone and the ambiance. So as you look around, you will see there are some children's toys and things of that nature. What we in the business call trigger objects in hopes that they may do something. Now, that being said, the resident spirit up here, we believe his name is Sean, came to us through a psychic medium. I was really hoping for some cool old-timey name like Ichabod, but Sean it is. Sean appeared to me in full-body apparition form one day, and that's only happened to me a couple times in my entire life. Anyone that says they see them all the time is probably not telling the truth. I was up here, admittedly goofing around with two of my friends. We were filming some footage, trying to get jump scares, actually, that one of my friends didn't know we were doing to her, saying silly things and letting it be known. And I saw a ball of energy about the size of a soccer ball. Oh, it's just wind and rain. I saw a soccer ball sized gold ball roll over the floor, which is something that I have had happen before. It's when I see energy, that's how I see it. I said, oh, okay, there is something up here. And I did some more chatting. And as I said that, right here, about 6 feet tall, very white, gaunt, shoulder length, scraggly hair, male was standing there looking at me. And I looked back at him, and it lasted for a brief second. I kind of jumped back. I was very startled, as a normal person would be. And my friends were like, what happened? What happened? I said, I explained what happened. I said, I'm good. I'm going to go home. I don't need to be here anymore tonight. And I came back the next week with a few people, and I was up here alone on a TikTok live investigation. And I was talking. I said, hey, I saw you last week. I'm here again. Just, let me know that you're still here. And this person, who was a supposed psychic medium, was watching. I don't know this person. I had not told this story to anyone yet publicly. She said, well, I'm picking up the name Sean, and he said he doesn't want to scare you again. And I said, well, I scare very easily, and it's okay. You did scare me, but I know it wasn't your fault. And she said, no, he's worried he's going to scare you again. And I said, it's okay. We want to interact with him. We want to talk to him. We have had great luck up here. And let's hope that's a human being walking up the stairs at this point. It's got to be. And we've had a lot of experiences. A lot of people have witnessed him in shadow form. I'm still the only one in full-bodied apparition, but he does tend to hang out on this end over here in this little nook. So we set up various devices that he can utilize to set timers off and things like that, so we know he's here. He's somewhere over in that corner usually. And I know it's probably dark on screen right now, so I'll spare you that. But this building is full of history, and it is full of energy, and it's good energy. There's nothing evil or bad in this building, and thankfully, out of all the respectful investigators that have come through here, no one has ever tried to say otherwise. It has been a great experience for everyone, and everyone that comes through has been a focal point and a very important person, because we're all building the history of this location together through paranormal research. And by you guys coming out and investigating here, it helps us keep this building afloat for generations to come, because we put the money right back into this. Our whole driving force is paranormal preservation, historic preservation through paranormal research, if you will. So that's the building. That is Hartsuff Hall. We hope you enjoyed this little tour, and we hope to see you guys out here really soon. You can find out information on it at wanerparanormal.com or any of our social medias. We are on every social media account under either Waner Paranormal Explorers or Waner Paranormal Preservation Society. We hope to hear from you soon.